Powerlifting is really interesting to me because of its simplicity. There are 3 movements. How to perform them is given to us under a set rules, and gravity is a constant. So it's not necessarily up to politics or wind chill or the weather, you know. It's up to these minute variables. Of course, there are little things like knee wraps and single ply, multiply, but ultimately the variables, the amount of variables are very minute. And that's something that I love, because when we look at the grand scheme of it, you know, the responsibility of getting better in this sport is solely on your shoulders and no one else's. And I like that idea. I like the idea of everything being on my own shoulders and no one else having any effect on that. One of my favorite quotes is a proverb, and it's, I ask not for lighter burdens, but for broader shoulders. And this is something that everyone, in my opinion, should carry with them throughout their lives. It should be a life kind of lesson, but powerlifting encompasses that. So it's like everyone powerlifts because they want to get stronger. They don't want this guy to get weaker. They don't want some judge to, you know, say that their squat was proper depth or whatever. It's like ultimately we want to get stronger. Whether or not I hit a PR in the gym or if I hit it on the platform, to me, that's irrelevant. If I stand up with a ton of weight that I didn't think I could have stood up with a couple years ago, I'm gonna be happy.
All right, come on, Jay. Go! Yes! Let's go! Come on.
I think training the mind is just as important as training the body. So we spend all this time on our physical development, but there also has to be a lot of time spent on the mental. Mike Mentzer said it really awesome. He said, man is an indivisible entity, an integrated unit of body and mind. And that is something that I think we all need to kind of embrace, because we spend so much time lifting weights and there's that typical meathead, you know, stereotype. And most of the powerlifters I meet are intelligent dudes, you know, like I'm friends with Sam, he's a lawyer. You know, if you talk with Dan about training, the guy knows more about training than anyone else I would want to talk to about the subject. So I think that that has been something that I embraced at an early age. And part of that is because of, once again, kung fu movies, martial arts movies. I mean, you never see a master who's not talking about, you know, learning the way of kung fu, or kung fu as a lifestyle. You know, it's always, you know, karate, taekwondo, judo, all those things. They're always talking about the character that you develop through learning the martial art. And powerlifting is the same way. You know, I just gave that proverb, and it's talking about learning to endure more. So when we're lifting weights, we're working through injuries, you know, you're basically learning to man up, build character, and push forward. And only the guys who aren't willing to man up, to push forward, you know, the entitled people who, you know, they want the strength now, those are the guys who are gonna quit. Those are the guys who will never squat over 700 or bench 5 or deadlift 8. You know, let them be like that. Let them complain. Let them say they tried powerlifting, but, you know, the guys who are lifting the big weights, no one did it overnight.